Let us start the second topic of Standard 8th of subject General Science, Health and Diseases. Now, if we start with the definition, health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well beingness and not merely absence of any disease. Diseases directly affect on a person's efficiency, and strong people can make a strong nation, but diseases reduces the efficiency of the people. That's why for the sake of strong nation, one should be strong enough and healthy. So mathematically we can define health as health is equal to physical plus mental plus social well-beingness. Now if we consider the term disease, so in the earlier topic we have studied there are various microorganisms, there are some bacteria or viruses which can responsible for spreading various types of diseases. So if we can define disease, the condition of disturbances in physiological and psychological processes of body is called disease. Each disease has its own specific symptoms. So the disease do not just affect our physiological condition but a psychological condition also. There are various types of diseases like tuberculosis, which is also called as TB, malaria, hepatitis, that is jaundice, swine flu, dysentery, rabies, cholera, cancer, typhoid, diabetes, dengue, heart diseases. So these are the some of the diseases which reduces the efficiency of a person, and also he become a medium for the spread of such diseases through a healthy person. So to get away from these diseases, some care should be taken. Before that, we must know these types of diseases. So these diseases are classified according to a certain criteria. So we must know that firstly, there are two types of diseases. The first is according to duration, there are certain diseases, and the second category is according to the reasons. In the first category, we have two types of diseases: chronic diseases and acute diseases. Chronic diseases are the diseases which stays for a long period of time. That's why they are called as chronic diseases. On the other hand, acute diseases are for a shorter period. So on the basis of the duration, these two parts or these two types of diseases are made. The second type or the second category by which diseases are classified is according to the reasons. Now there are again two reasons by which diseases spread. The first is hereditary diseases and the second is acquired diseases. So hereditary diseases are those diseases which spread from one generation to another generation by heredity. That's why these are called as hereditary diseases. While on the other hand, we have acquired diseases which are again classified into two categories: infectious diseases and non-infectious diseases. So infectious diseases are those diseases which are spread through various mediums like air, water, or the contact with the infected person. So these are the various mediums by which diseases spread from person to person. That's why these are called as infectious diseases. The second type is non-infectious diseases like diabetes and heart diseases. These diseases do not spread from a person to person by means of any medium. That's why these are taken in the category of non-infectious diseases. Now we'll study some of the diseases, their symptoms and the preventive measures and what care should be taken against them. So the first disease is tuberculosis. Now there is a pathogen or microorganism which is responsible for this disease is Mycobacterium tuberculei. As we have earlier studied in the first topic, the Mycobacterium tuberculosis is the pathogen responsible for the spread of disease tuberculosis. The mode of infection, the first mode of infection, which is very important, that is the spitting by patient through air. So suppose there is a person infected from a tuberculosis and he used to spit in air, then these pathogens spread through air and the normal person can get affected to it. So this is the first mode of infection. Another mode of infection is prolonged contact with the patient and the sharing of materials of patients. So these are the two ways by which this disease spreads. Now there are symptoms for that: the chronic cough, bloody spitting, emaciation, difficult breathing. These are the symptoms by which we can identify an infected person. Now prevention and treatment is there for these diseases, as this disease is spread through the spitting of patient or by making contact with the patient. The first prevention or the treatment is the isolation of patient. If we isolate the patient, this disease cannot be spread from person to person. Now there is also vaccine which is available for this disease, that is called as a BCG vaccine, and there is a medical treatment called as a DOT, direct observation and treatment. So this is the treatment for this specified disease, that is the tuberculosis. These are some pictures for the tuberculosis. As we can see here, in this disease the lungs of humans are being attacked by these pathogens, that is Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Now the next disease is hepatitis, which is also called as jaundice. Now the pathogen responsible for that is hepatitis A, B, C, D and E. Now again, the mode of infection is contaminated water. If we used to drink a contaminated water which has these types of pathogens, and if we use that contaminated water, we may get this disease. Sharing of needles, so this is also a mode of infection. If there are needles which are used for infected person, and if we are using the same needles, then we may have the disease. And the blood transfusion is also a mode of infection by which we can get, or the normal person can get, the disease. Symptoms: anorexia, this is the first symptom. Yellow urine, that is the second. Weakness, it is the main symptom for this disease, hepatitis. Nausea, vomiting and grey stool, these are the various symptoms for hepatitis. So as we can see here, hepatitis, in this disease hepatitis, the liver of a human being is getting affected. Now there is a prevention and treatment also. As this disease spread through the contaminated water, the first preventive measure is drinking boiled water, so as to, if it has some types of pathogens that may spread this disease, can get killed, and if we can use such type of water, it will be useful. And proper cleaning of hands, because through hands also we can get this disease. That's why the proper cleaning of hands, it is also another way of prevention of this disease. Now the next disease is dysentery. Now as earlier standard we have topic we have studied, there are some microorganisms like amoeba or paramecium or entamoeba, which may affect a healthy person's health. So these are the bacteria or the viruses, these are the pathogens by which we can get diseases. One of them is Entamoeba histolytica or Shigella or Bacilli. These are the pathogens which may result into a dysentery. The mode of infection is again contaminated food and water, as these pathogens are, if there are these pathogens, they can affect and if they get entered into our body, they can affect our body through this disease, dysentery. The symptoms are watery stool and pains in the abdomen. Now, there are prevention, as the contaminated food and water is the main reason for that. We should drink boiled water, that may prevent this disease, and proper storage of food, it is also very necessary, and ORS consumption. So the long form for ORS is oral rehydration solution. Oral rehydration solution, because in this disease the water level in our body gets reduced. That's why, to maintain that water level in our body, this type of solution is given, which will be useful for that person. Now the next disease is a cholera. Again, the pathogen responsible for that is Vibrio cholerae. Mode of infection is again the same, contaminated food and water. So this is the picture, this is the image of Vibrio cholerae, which is responsible for this disease, cholera. The symptoms are vomiting, diarrhea, and cramps in legs. Now again, preventive measures are there. Hygienic practices, if we have good habits for personal hygiene, avoid open place food, drinking boiled water, and vaccination. There is a vaccination against cholera, so which we should take to prevent the cholera. The next disease is the typhoid. So for that, the pathogen responsible is Salmonella typhi. The mode of infection is again contaminated food and water. The symptoms are anorexia, headache, rash on abdomen, dysentery, and high fever. The preventive measures are drinking clean water, vaccination, proper disposal of sewage, because through sewage also typhoid gets spread. So these are the preventive measures for typhoid. As we have studied here, that most of the diseases spread through our unhygienic habits. So if we can avoid them, or if we can have good personal hygienic habits, then most of the diseases cannot be spread in the society, and we can get a healthy environment around us. Now the next disease is a dengue. Dengue is spread by one type of mosquito which is called as Aedes aegypti. So this is the image of Aedes aegypti. This disease is caused by virus named as DEN12, belonging to the type Flavivirus. Now symptoms of dengue are acute fever and headache, and vomiting also, pains in eye socket, and decrease in platelet count that may lead to internal hemorrhage. There is another disease which is spread through the one type of mosquito called as a female Anopheles, is a malaria. So malaria is caused due to female Anopheles. So this is the picture of female Anopheles. Now there is another type of disease, elephantiasis, which spread through female culex. So these are some diseases which spread only by means of some types of mosquitoes. Swine flu, the next disease. Now reasons for the infection is, this disease basically spread from pigs and humans. The virus of swine flu are spread through the sweat of infected person, and it is spread through the secretion of nose, throat, and saliva. Now, there are symptoms of swine flu: difficulty in breathing, sore throat, and body pains. So there is one virus called as H1N1, which is responsible for swine flu. Now for diagnosis of swine flu, there are institutes called as NIV. that is National Institute of Virology in Pune, and National Institute of Communicable Diseases, that is NICD, Delhi. So these are the faculties where we can diagnose the swine flu. Now the next disease is AIDS. Its long form is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. So as the name suggests, the virus attacks humans efficiency. So that's why it's acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Now AIDS is caused by the virus HIV, whose long form is human immunodeficiency virus. In this disease, victims suffer from various diseases due to the progressive weakening of natural immunity. As we know that each of us has a natural immunity by which we can resist various types of diseases. But in this disease, that immunity is getting affected, and that's why a person can get various diseases. The diagnosis of AIDS cannot be confirmed without the test in the medical laboratory, and the test by which it is diagnosed is called as ELISA. AIDS does not occur due to the touching to and sharing the food with the HIV infected person, or by nursing the HIV patient. So our behavior with the HIV infected person must be normal. Now there is another disease which is related to the animal, is rabies. So it is a viral disease. It occurs due to the bite of infected dog, infected rabbit, monkey, cat, etc. So the main symptom for the disease rabies is the hydrophobia, that is the fear of water. That is, if there is an infected person by rabies, he show this type of symptom. Again, there are some symptoms which start to appear within 90 to 175 days of dog bite. So it is very essential to diagnose it as early as possible. Symptoms of rabies are fever for 2 to 12 weeks, exaggeration in behavior, and the hyperophobia. So these are the main symptoms of rabies. I hope you understand the topic. Thanks for watching.